Hello everybody and welcome back to Nerf This Patch. We're going to try to do things a little differently today because I have my mic finally working and not the headset I usually wear. So it's been a really good week so far. We're one day away from the new year, so I'm really excited to see what 2021 can bring with how shitty this year's been. So I wanted to start with this. So I deal with a lot of scrutiny and a lot of judgment for a lot of the strong opinions that I have. Rightfully so. I can't help it. I like having these strong opinions. I think it makes video games more fun. I never have any bad blood or any actual negative feelings toward people who play whatever they want to play. Play whatever you want. I hope you enjoy video games to your fullest. But I enjoy having these strong opinions on it. I think it adds to my personality as far as what I love about video games. But I gotta admit, I was right about a lot this year, and I was wrong about a lot this year. So I thought it would be fun if we did a right-wrong segment, and we're gonna call it Smart Patch or Dumb Patch. And I really think that it adds some credibility to this channel. Like I said, this isn't about me being right. I think this helps show that I am flawed, that my opinions are just that, and I think that's actually more fun when I'm wrong. Because that usually when I'm critical of games and they're better than I expect, everybody wins. I like being wrong about games. There are a bunch of games on this list that I totally thought were going to be shitty, and they ended up being some of the best games I've played all year. So I wanted to go back and forth with some things about video games that I just absolutely nailed. And I'm not one to take credit, but sometimes it is nice to kind of reassure that I was totally right about that and be accountable for what I was wrong about. So let's get right into it. Cool. So, Smart Patch said that The Last of Us Part 2 was easily the best game of 2020, and wouldn't you know, The Last of Us Part 2 is Game of the Year for 2020. Controversy aside for this game, because I don't really want to get into the stupidity of the hatred for this game from people who didn't even fucking play it. It was easily the best game of the year. It was not my favorite game, I'll get into that tomorrow, but it was the best game of the year. It had the most ambitious story. It was the most ambitious game of the year for one. It had the best story. It had very great visuals, solid gameplay. As a whole package, I had no doubt this was going to be the best game of the year, and I was right. Winner of the Game Awards, highest rated game on Metacritic. What is there left to say? It's just easier to admit I was right on this one. Sorry, not sorry. Especially not sorry to all you haters who didn't even play the game. I was very wrong about Microsoft, though. Microsoft has been a company I've been critical of for the last 5 years, very harshly, and I did not think that they really understood what makes a console brand important. But after they bought Bethesda, I said that was the perfect thing to do, and I didn't think they were going to do it. So I think they deserve all the credit in the world for that move. I absolutely loved it. I did not see it coming, and they deserve a lot of kudos for finally understanding that, hey, exclusivity matters, studios matter. I'm going to give them a pass this 2021. I think it's going to take some time before they start putting out exclusive games. But 2022, I think the games are going to hit. This purchase, you can't do nothing with this purchase. I was wrong. I got to admit that Microsoft, you made the right move this year. And the Xbox Series X is amazing. Man, if there was anything that I would have bet money on, it was that this game had too much hype and it was going to hurt it. I'm not here to talk about the quality of the game itself. I think I still haven't played enough of it to really judge if it's a good or bad game. But I said that the hype was going to hurt this. I didn't understand why we were making this out to be one of the best games ever. And there was only one game that CD Projekt Red had credibility on, and that never fits when you have a game with this much hype. And of course, the game comes out, it's a disaster. There are class action lawsuits all over the place. The game still doesn't run very well. I own it on PC and Xbox Series X, and it still doesn't run very well. So this game was ruined by us. Everybody wants to blame the marketing, and they want to blame the company for false advertisements on it. No. If this game had Bethesda's name on it, nobody would care. The reason this game failed is because of us. We put too much excitement into it. We put too many expectations onto it, and it didn't deserve it. And I was saying all year, we needed to calm down with this game because it doesn't have the same credibility as other companies like Naughty Dog and games that Nintendo makes. Sorry, that was totally right on this one. I did not think the PS5 and the Xbox Series X were going to be as desirable as they are. I mean, you can't find them anywhere. I own both of them. I didn't think I was going to buy both of them. I said earlier in the year, I don't even think I'm going to buy the PS5 right away, and I couldn't wait to get one. I was totally wrong on this. The machines are great. The backwards compatibility really helps. Some of the launch games on PS5, like Miles Morales, are amazing. Dark Souls is really good. Sackboy is a lot of fun. I truly thought that with PC gaming being as big as it was, that these consoles were not going to push the needle forward. And while I still don't think load times is a really great feature, I was totally wrong on this. The consoles are great. Console gaming is here to stay. It's still going strong, and I cannot believe that these two consoles are still in this much demand right now. I was saying earlier that the Game Awards were overtaking E3 for my favorite part of like gaming of the year, and once last year hit and how bad it was, I kind of just knew that E3 was going to go away. I did not think that COVID was going to kill E3, but the same result happened. I said this would be the last year of E3, and it technically was. I've been to E3. E3 is a lot of fun. It is outdated. It's really expensive. It's kind of a mess if you're not in the media. And even if you are in the media, like, it's still a mess then. All these companies have their own platforms to make whatever announcements they want. I think the Game Awards is significantly better as far as revealing new content. Yeah, E3 died. Not how I expected, but I kind of knew that it was going to die. I was also one of those idiots who thought that, oh, I'll just wait, and I upgraded my PC in April, and I thought, oh, I'll just wait till the new graphics cards come out and upgrade. I was wrong, because you can't find them anywhere. I did not think that these cards were going to be in such high demand. I did eventually get an RTX 3070, but I had to wait in the snow for 2 hours in the middle of the day, and it was miserable, and I got very lucky. I was like maybe the second to last person who was even able to get one. It was really dumb of me to upgrade at the time I did. I should have waited until now to get a bundled deal and maybe get like a all-in-one PC that had a 3080 in it. But I thought I could pick one up when it came out, and man, I was wrong about that. I was saying the entire time Marvel's Avengers was being shown that something didn't look right with this game. It never looked fun, visually it looked kind of tough, and it all makes sense now. Now, I do think the opening of the game is actually pretty good. The story is really cool. I like Kamala Khan, or I think that's her name. I think her story is excellent, and it has a good start to the game, but once you really get into it, it's really boring. It's a Destiny clone, which I absolutely cannot stand, and all the characters don't even feel like they're their own character. I don't know. I kind of just knew. I called it earlier in the year. I said this was one of the games I didn't trust, and I was right to not trust it. Am I sad about it? Yeah, but hey, you gotta call it as you see it. Something about watching this game at E3 last year just made me feel like there's something very wrong with this game. I thought Kingdom Hearts was going to go away. I like Kingdom Hearts 3. I know a lot of people don't, but I still think Kingdom Hearts 3 is great. I like the ending. I wanted it to end, though. I wanted at least a break. And while I do like Melody of Memory, I was very wrong on the fact that I thought we weren't going to get Kingdom Hearts games for a long time. They're still going on with the story. I don't know why. There's really not much to tell afterwards, but I don't know. The game's fine. I don't want more spin-offs. If we're going to make Kingdom Hearts games, give it like a 5-year break and then come back, which I thought, but here we are. A year later is another Kingdom Hearts game. There's probably going to be another one next year, so I was wrong on that one. Madden proves that gamers don't give a fuck about holding their money back on crap. I think this was the best-selling Madden yet, and it was easily just a copy and paste job, and no one cared, and this is the perfect example of when I keep saying that gamers don't speak with their wallets. If you don't like a company for what they're doing, don't buy their games. But clearly, everybody bitching about Madden and saying it was just a copy-paste game didn't care enough because it's still the best-selling Madden game in a long time. So, I don't know. I wish that people would be more credible with their purchases. Don't buy crap just for the sake of owning it. Just speak with your wallet. If you don't like a company, you don't like EA, don't buy EA games. And yet, here we are. So, I don't know. Gamers, you need to learn how to speak with your wallets better. Man, I was totally wrong on Final Fantasy VII Remake. I thought that this game was going to be a 15 clone. It looked interesting to say the least, but I did not expect it to be this good. This is the best Square Enix game in the past 15 years. This is maybe the best Square game since, Kingdom Hearts 2 for me. Like, this game's amazing. It's better than 15. It's better than Kingdom Hearts 3. I love Kingdom Hearts 3. It's a better game than Kingdom Hearts 3. It's better than Bravely Default. It's better than Octopath. Like, this game blew me away. I cannot believe how good it ended up being. And this was the game I trusted the least amount, and I'm so glad I was wrong. This was easily one of my favorite games of the year, if not my favorite game of the year. I have been saying for a long time that, remakes are a good thing, and when remakes sell well, that usually leads into new games. And I had a lot of friends who were mad about the Crash Bandicoot remakes. Yeah, here we are. Crash 4 is finally here, and it's fucking awesome. This game is so good. It's so Crash. There's nothing like seeing a game come back from the dead the way Crash did, and it still embodies everything that makes the franchise great. Everything about Crash that makes Crash Bandicoot great is in Crash 4, and then a bunch of shit we didn't even know we wanted. I knew that this game was going to happen. I knew that if the remake sold well, this was going to happen, and I was been saying for a long time, remakes are not always a bad thing, and this is a perfect example. I never thought Halo was ever going to come to PC fully. I always thought that, you know, it was going to be an Xbox exclusive because that's the only way you value the Xbox, and I was totally wrong on that. All the games except Halo 5 are on PC, and they run perfectly. I don't care about Halo 5, so we don't even need to count that one. It runs amazing. There's cross-play. The controls are great on mouse and keyboard. I was totally wrong on this one. I thought my Halo was always going to be an Xbox console exclusive, and yet here it is running just fine on PC, and everybody's loving it. Wrong on that one. Assassin's Creed fatigue. I have nothing against Valhalla. I actually think Valhalla is pretty fun from what I played of it when I checked it out, but I gotta admit then, I totally called it. People are getting bored of these games as far as there's nothing special about them anymore. And here we are after Valhalla comes out. It's the most ambitious Assassin's Creed game ever, and no one's talking about it. I had a friend who played it and was like, is this just like every generic open world game I've ever played? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised. And that's basically what it is. The worlds are too big. There's too much little shit to do and not enough meat on this game's bones that's unique to keep this franchise fresh and new. It's Assassin's Creed. And yeah, Assassin's Creed has gotten better since when I last played it, but it's still Assassin's Creed. The fatigue is real, and the fact that no one's talking about this game anymore says everything I need to say. I never thought Half-Life was going to come back, to be honest. I thought that Half-Life 2 Episode 2 was it, and Valve was pretty much done, and man, not only does Half-Life come back, it comes back in VR, and it's one of the best reviewed games of the year. It's probably the best VR reviewed game ever. And while it's not what I expected as far as what kind of game it was, I just genuinely did not think that they would ever come back to greatness. And yet here they are. They were Game of the Year nominees, and they won a couple awards, and they were nominated for Best Director, and they should be. This game's pretty great. I wish I could play it because I don't have a VR that runs on my PC, and it's a shame on me. I'm glad Half-Life's back. I really hope this comes to PlayStation VR so I can finally play it. I don't understand the hype behind Paper Mario. So my friend was really excited about this, and I even said, like, I don't really understand why people are that excited about this new Paper Mario. The old, like, what was it, Sticker Star, Color Splash, whichever the 3DS one and the Wii U one were never good. So why this one was going to be different, I have no idea. And sure, well and behold, it comes out, and it's very generic, and it's very boring, and no one cares about it, and it's just a meh Mario game. And I've never understood the hype behind the series. I think the original Paper Mario is fine, Thousand Year Door is fine. I know they're spiritual successors to, you know, Mario RPG to an extent, but man, I don't know what anyone saw with this game that thought it was going to be good. The last two were garbage. What was going to be different about this one? They clearly hadn't learned anything new, so I don't know. I kind of knew this game was going to be underwhelming. What I did not expect, games like Hades have a lot of things that I really hate about games. I don't like games that you have to replay them multiple times. I don't like games that, you know, are kind of obnoxious and make you die a lot before you really start to figure them out. And I really don't like games where the story is just kind of like, well, the more you put in, the more you get out of it. I was wrong about all those fronts. This game's fucking awesome. It's one of my favorite games of the year. One of my favorite games on the Switch, period. It's excellent. Everything about it, everything that this game tries to execute is done perfectly. It's fun to die. It's fun to go back and, after you've lost, and go back and try to find different ways. You know, randomized loot is so fun. Like, the randomized upgrades are so great to get. This was easily the most underrated, like, I didn't see this game coming at all, and it genuinely surprised me with how great it was, and how it just took all the things I don't like and made me fall in love with them. I could not wait to beat this game again after beating it the first time. Excellent, excellent game. I had said when this trailer came out and it was another Hyrule Warriors, I'm like, this game is just a Dynasty Warriors clone. Do not give in to the Zelda hype. Like, this is not a Zelda game. And I played that game for 5 minutes, and immediately I was like, God, this game sucks. It still sucks. This game was never good. And I don't care how good the story should be or is. Like, I bet it's great. It's not worth slogging through this boring as fuck, like, hack and slash game. I, like, 5 minutes in, checked it out. I was like, all right, hopefully it's a little different. Nope, turned it off. This game sucks. I've always called out this franchise for being bad. No, there was never going to fool me to think that this was going to be any different. So, definitely right on that. This one's a hard one to admit because I really don't like EA. But I gotta admit that they have handled the Star Wars license very well since the Battlefront 2 mess. Jedi Fallen Order is so good. I'm actually playing through that right now, and I suck ass at it, but it is a very, very good game. There's no DLC bullshit. It's an excellent action-adventure game. This is exactly what we needed from Star Wars of the EA license. Star Wars Squadrons is a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I called that this game, you should sell your hype on it. It was one of the better games of the year. I can't believe I'm saying that. The EA has not messed up with Star Wars since, and they deserve all the criticism that they got for what happened with Battlefront 2. But since then, I hate admitting this, but they've treated Star Wars pretty well. So, I was totally wrong. I did not see that coming. Finally, for where I was right, dude, when Halo Infinite was announced as a launch game, or even had this window, the fact that we had not seen anything from it and had not seen any gameplay until summer, I knew this game was never going to come out this year. Anybody who genuinely thought that this was going to be a launch game for the Xbox Series X should either have totally not believed it, or should have been really, worrisome of the gameplay because we hadn't seen anything of it up to this point. And of course, the game gets split. I will bet money. I bet money this game doesn't even come out next year. I don't care what anybody has said about the next Halo and how development is going. If anybody wants to bet me money that this game's even coming out this year, I'll take that bet. It's not coming out this year. This is a 2022 game, and I don't even know how the quality is going to be. I thought the gameplay that we saw looked fine, but man, there's so much about this game that we haven't seen, and they're not telling us that if I didn't trust it this year, I really don't trust it this coming year. Finally, I am not the biggest VR fan. I get sick playing those games. I thought it was 3D all over again. I thought this was going to be a gimmick that was going to die off and nobody was going to care about it anymore. And, I've been working in GameStop holidays, and people are still looking for VR games. People are still selling VR. Like, it's kind of crazy. I did not think that VR was still going to go as strong as it has. Now, has the game quality gotten any better? Outside of Half-Life Alyx, not really. I mean, the games are still just what they are, but I gotta admit I was wrong. I didn't think that VR would still be sticking around the way it is, and I know with next gen we're gonna see more of it, so gotta admit I definitely missed on the VR hype train. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope that was a lot of fun for you to see me ramble about how much I suck at making predictions or having strong opinions, but tomorrow I plan on releasing my top 10 favorite games of 2020, and I don't usually like making personal videos, but this one I've put a lot of time into, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. So thank you guys so much for just tuning in, and as always, keep on gaming. Thank you.